Hi there, this is Tiffany from iHeartArtBlog.com, and I'm on the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft team, and I've seen this really big trend all across the web with card making, and it's all about no line coloring. And I see it a lot with the Copic markers and other alcohol ink mediums, and I decided to apply it the same technique but using watercoloring. And the best way to stamp those images is with the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft Stampers Big Brush pens. And these are the subtle tones. So these are like the very, very lightest of the shades that you can get in the Design Memory Craft line. And they come in 3 tones. There's ivory, light flush, and cold gray. And this is what they'll look like. Here's some Strathmore watercolor paper. This is the ivory, so extremely light yellow almost. You can barely see it. This is the light flush, and then this is the cold gray. So these are all extremely light. I would say go with the ivory if you're an experienced colorist. Because no line coloring it's just not very forgiving. And then I say go with the cold gray because that tends to match everything. And if you're watercoloring people or nature scenes, I recommend this light flush color right here. So I am going to show you how to do that using this stamp set. This is by Lawn Fawn. It's called Flutterby, and we'll get started. These markers are light fast, odorless, and permanent. So of course, once they're dry, they're completely permanent, so you can watercolor over them. Or in this case, we'll use the lines as a guideline so that we can watercolor within the lines. But you don't have to worry about the lines smudging. And they also don't bleed through your cardstock or papers. So here is my final 1-layer stamped image, and of course I use the cold gray one. And the reason why I use the cold gray is so that you guys could see the process a little bit better. Otherwise, I probably would have used the ivory just to get more of that no line look. So I have my lotus, the 2 flowers, and the 2 leaves. And the first thing I'm going to do is use my GRIP Aquarelle Watercolor Pencils. And I'm going to go in and add a base layer of color and some contrast with these. I can get a little bit better detail with them than I can with the Gelatos. And after you lay down the first layer of color, you're going to go back with a small paintbrush and just start blending that color throughout the card. So once you have your first layer of color done, you can go back with some Gelatos, which are a little bit more rich in color. I have some examples of the new Gelatos packaging. And you can just go in and start laying down some deeper, richer, more contrasted shades of color throughout your no line stamped image. So here's my finished product. I like to add a little bit more definition with my lightest shade of Art GRIP Aquarelle Watercolor Pencil after I add more contrast with the Gelatos, just to define the spaces again. You don't have to do that if you want it to look like a true watercolor, and that's the whole point of no line coloring, is to make it look like a real painting. So that was my technique, and I'll show you the finished card in a little bit. So here's my finished card. I added some of this Gelatos lemon paint splatter, just a little bit, with a watered down brush and Gelatos. And then I added my Stamp Sentiment with the Pink Matter Stampers Big Brush Pen. And the thing I love about our whole product line is that all the colors match perfectly. So the Pink Matter really matched the pinks that I used in my my 3 stamped flower images. And there you go. Again, this was Tiffany from the Faber-Castell Design Memory Craft team, showing you a no-line watercoloring technique using these Stampers Big Brush Pens Subtle Tones as your stamped base image. Thanks for watching.